Hi guys, I hope you're all keeping well and safe. Welcome to Early Years Matters TV. On this channel, we focus on early childhood, we review toys, and we also give parenting tips. If these are the kind of things that you're looking for, what do you have to do? Subscribe, and not just subscribe, turn on your notification bell so that you'll be the first person to be notified each time a new video is being dropped on this channel. So on today's episode of Early Years Matters TV, I am going to be talking about the image of the child. Yes, today's discussion is going to be all about the image of the child. You might be wondering, what is the image of the child? The image of the child simply means the representation of the child, what the child looks like. And where does this idea of the image of the child comes from? The image of the child comes from Reggio Emilia approach in early childhood. This was founded by Loris Malaguzzi. And what does the Reggio Emilia approach talks about? The Reggio Emilia approach is all about taking a child-centered approach to enhance learning and development in early childhood. I'm going to repeat this again. The Reggio Emilia approach is all about taking a child-centered approach to enhance learning and development. So what does it mean? It means that focusing on the individual child to enhance learning and development in early childhood. I'd like you to know that as educator, aspirant, the image of the child depends on you. What do you think the image of the child looks like? What do you think is the image of the child? In a nutshell, ask yourself this question: who is the child? Whatever you think the child is, that's how you're going to approach the child from that point of view, and which will enhance you to promote the learning and development of the child. So I will give examples of the image of the child, of who the child is. The first one is the child is a researcher. Yes, you need to understand that the child is a researcher. What does this mean? A researcher is somebody that investigates, somebody that wants to like to find out about things. So in a nutshell, the child is an investigator. The child wants to find out about things. The child wants to know more. The child wants to explore their environment. So the first image of the child is a researcher. Another image of the child is creative. Yes, you need to understand that children are born with creativity skills. Yes, they have these skills, but it is your role as educators, aspirants, as guidance to encourage these children to use their creativity skills, to bring out the creativity skills in the child. So that's another image of the child. The child is creative, okay? Another image of the child is a competent learner. Yes, the child is a competent learner. What does this imply? It means that the child can learn. The child has the skill to learn. So as educators, as parents, as guidance, you need to understand that the child is a competent learner. The child can learn, okay? Their support as the adult, the child will be able to fulfill their potential. So another image of the child is a competent learner. All right. Another image of the child is curious. Yes, the child is curious. And what does this imply? The child wants to find out things. The need to know. There is the need to know that the child has. For instance, to Johnny, you can't run. The question Johnny will ask is why? Why can't I run? They're curious. They have that in to know. One of the image of the child is curiosity. They need to know. They want to know what's going on in their environment. You tell them things, you can't do things. They say, why? Why can't they do this? Especially in early childhood, they need to know why this, why that, why can't they do this? So you as the educator as well, you as the parent, the guidance, you need to know that another image of the child is curious. All right. That image of the child is full of potentials. Yes, the child is full of potentials. There is a lot of potential that young children have, okay? You need to understand, as parent, guidance, and educator, the children have lots of potentials, but the ball is in your court as adults to be able to bring out these potentials in young children. They are full of potentials. This is one thing I often say to my learner, that children are full of potential skills. You need to give them the room to make use of the skills. Look at it this way, that, oh, young children from birth to 8 years, young children from birth to 6 years, what can they do? What do they have? Yes, another image of the child is full of potentials. It is now your role as the adult to help the child to explore, to help the child to bring out the full potential in them, to help the child to use the potential that they have. You need to understand that the skills that somebody has, if you do not nurture the skills, what will happen to the skills? The skills tend not to grow. So as educators, as parents, guidance, you need to understand that children has full potentials. They are born with potentials. So your role is to bring out the potential skills in them. Your role is to ensure that the children use this potential that they have. All right. Image of the child is powerful. Yes. You need to understand as adult that the child is powerful. Power in them, they have the skill in them for them to grow. Okay. So, but as educators, as parents, you just have to step back sometimes. It's not all the time that you have to be in charge, you have to take control of children's life, you tell them what to do. The child is powerful, so there are some situations that the child needs to be in charge, that the child needs to take control because they have the skills, that the child can do things on their own with just support from you as the educator, just support from you as the parent, as the guidance. So another image of the child is powerful. Take note of this as well. All right. Another image of the child is a protagonist. Yes. Another image of the child is an important person. So you as the educator, you as the parent, you as the guardian, you need to understand that the child is an okay with of their learning. Yes. Understand that in everything that you're doing with the child, you need to place the child as the center. You need to see the child, that the child has the potential. So the child is an important person. What does this imply? It implies that children should be at the center of what you want to do with them. Okay, you consult them in relation to things you want to do with them. For instance, of the image of the child is you put the child at the center of everything that you're doing with the child. Okay, this is where you see the child, that the child is important. Okay, in relation to you want to plan activities, the things you want to do with the child, you consult with the child first. You need to understand that children has the right. The UN Convention on the Rights of the Child states that children should have a say in matters that concerns them. In this situation, it means that children should have a say in their education. You should consult them. You want to do something with the child. For instance, as educators, you want to plan activities for the child, you consult with the child, you consult with the children. What would they like to do? Look at their interest, and this will propel you to putting a child-centered curriculum plan in place. All right, so I hope you've taken note of the images of the child, and your role as educator is to look at this image of the child. Look at the image of the child to enhance the learning and development of the child. This is what early childhood is all about, taking a holistic approach to early childhood. And if you want more of this on this channel, what you have to do, subscribe, and not just subscribe, turn on your notification bell so that yes, you will be the first person to be notified each time a new video is being dropped on this channel. Until I come your way next time, stay safe and mind yourselves for now. Bye.